You know, people often ask, what do you do now that you're in retirement? We have around 400 acres. I would say most of the time throughout the year, I'm always doing something out here. I'm not on the schedule, I'm not on the time clock, and I enjoy it. Nothing will compare to throwing a touchdown pass in Lambeau Field. I'm sorry, it won't. When I think about my childhood growing up, I did dream of playing National Football League. I dreamed of playing in the Super Bowl. I never dreamed of Pro Bowls, Hall of Fames. I never dreamed that. I just dreamed of playing. And my dreams have been far exceeded long ago. To think that I've owned most of the passing records in the National Football League, I don't say that braggingly. I say that like, are you kidding me?
You gonna be a football player when you grow up?
Today is the best day of your life. Believe it.
Give me 18 years of daylight. That's all.
The greatest leader I've ever known.
What a ride it's been!
I gotta see this. This Favre out here. Brett Favre.
Kill, Mississippi. Population just over 2,000. Hometown of Brett Favre. Sure, he's a local legend, but a small town doesn't leave much room for a big head.
I'm actually kind of embarrassed about it. You know, I grew up here just like everybody else, and I'm no different than everybody that lives here.
The Favres were Kill's first family. There's a lot of them. And they were always ready for a good time.
We built everything out here because we were entertaining so many people, and we're just a big social family.
Are you getting good pictures?
All right, it's recording. We got the outside area where we could cook and boil seafood. We got everything where we didn't want to have to go somewhere else and do something.
They were always doing stuff, having crawfish boils, or just there was something going on at the Favre house.
We had privacy, woods, you could go hunting, fishing. It's a little too hot, but other than that, it's home.
I mean, it was constant them doing something around here with 4 of them, especially with 3 boys.
We were practicing our shoestring catches. Brett threw one out. I got a little carried away and dove right through that big front bay window. And of course, Mom comes running, Dad, what the hell's going on here? And Brett, he caught it, he caught it.
My first game ever, 5th grade jamboree, 3 touchdowns running.
3rd and 10.
I got in the end zone, the guy pulled my pants down.
It was an unlikely start for a kid who wanted to throw the ball into the end zone.
I always knew I had a strong arm. I mean, as far back as I can remember, I could barely pick up a high school football, but I always wanted to throw it because I wanted to do what the big boys did.
And he wanted to impress the high school football coach, his dad.
You know, I knew Brett could throw, but back then I wasn't worried about just showcasing him and getting him a scholarship. No, I was just worried about winning ball games.
When I played, it was 838 power pitch, which seemed fitting because I was the lead blocker. I loved it. I at least got to do something.
I was probably a lot harder on him too, like, you're not coming off the field. You stay out there. If you get hurt, you crawl off the field. When you can't crawl off the field, I'll come get you.
Looking back, I know that he was much tougher on me than the other kids. I wouldn't trade it the way I was raised and as tough as he was on me. The last high school football game of my high school career, and I overheard my father talking to the 3 other coaches, and he said, I can assure you one thing about my son. He will play better. He will redeem himself. I know my son. He has it in him. And I never let him know that I heard that, but I never forgot that statement. And I want you to know, Dad, I spent the rest of my career trying to redeem myself. But I spent the rest of my career trying to redeem myself and make him proud. And I hope I succeeded.
Football scholarship at the University of Southern Mississippi goes to Brett Favre.
Favre went to college just down the road at the University of Southern Mississippi. And by the end of his first game, he was on his way to stardom.
Favre came off the bench and led the Golden Eagles past Tulane 31-24 in a comeback victory in his varsity debut.
Probably the most exciting thing that I've ever had happen to me when you see your own child go in a game like that and do so well.
Favre was on the fast track, but before his senior season, the kid from Kill nearly died in a car accident.
30 inches of your intestines taken out. It's painful, and a fractured vertebrae along with other cuts and bruises. I mean, it didn't look good, especially so close to the start of the season. I can remember in the hospital room, Dad just kind of sat in the back, doctor leave. He said, I don't know, I think a few days, I think you'll be fine. I remember walking out of the hospital, I'd lost 36 pounds. Our first game, which was a month after my surgery, I didn't even dress for the game. The following week, we played Alabama, and I said, I'm playing.
He don't even look tired to me. He don't look like a man that's had 30 inches of small intestines removed.
Favre orchestrated a stunning upset. The final score, Southern Miss 27, the mighty Crimson Tide 24. In 1991, the NFL came calling.
Atlanta has selected Brett Favre, quarterback, Southern Mississippi.
Well, when I got to Atlanta, I got there, I wasn't a starter. From the get-go, Jerry Glanville, he had it out for me.
Mississippi, you're not going to play tonight? Let me, I will. I tell you what, we got to have 2 plane wrecks and 4 quarterbacks go down, and you're it.
I was a traveling road show in Atlanta. The only thing they used me for was Jerry Glanville would bet guys when we went to stadiums that I could throw the ball on the third deck. And hell, I thought I was somebody.
Come on, Mississippi Mud!
He said, everybody gather around after I walked through. Everybody, come on. Mississippi's gonna show us something. I bet anybody $100 Favre can throw it up in the third deck. And sure enough, I throw it up in the third deck.
He's either Rookie of the Year or he's out of here.
So that was basically what I was used for. And so when they got a first-round offer for a second-round pick for a guy who didn't play, how could you not take it? No one, including me, knew what was to come.
A Football Life is presented.
After riding the pine his rookie year, Brett Favre returned to the woods of Mississippi, wondering just what his NFL future held.
Actually sitting in the kitchen that day, we were eating boiled crawfish and drinking beer. I got 2 phone calls. One was just telling me, you've been traded, and the next phone call was from Ron Wolf.
Ron Wolf traded a first-round draft pick to bring him to Green Bay.
I staked my career here on Brett Favre, and he didn't let me down.
He was 248 pounds, and I think his diet consisted of red beans and rice and etouffee and barley and hops, and it was like, this guy's a quarterback, and so he was going to be the backup. Don Mikowski was an athletic guy who had made the Pro Bowl before, but it's all about making the best of your opportunities, right? And that came for Brett sooner than we thought.
In week 3 of the 1992 season, Mikowski went down.
Mike Holmgren said to me, Steve, get Brett ready. I went, oh, geez, is he ready? And I went, yep.
So I'm coming in, and most of the people looking in the program going, who in the hell is this guy now? How do you pronounce his name? They blitzed me every single play in that game until the last drive.
All right, well, you got 1:07. You still got a chance. If you score a touchdown and an extra point, you could win it 24-23.
They allowed me to just kind of gunsling a little bit and just do what I do best and right down the field.
Favre steps up in the pocket, throws long upfield. There's Sterling Sharp. He caught it. He's at the 50 down to the 47-yard line, and they got no timeout. You got to hurry. Now he's back to throw. On Zidane comes up over the middle. It is caught by Workman down to the 35. 29 seconds left.
This wasn't just a Packers comeback. It was Favre's coming out party.
There's a man. He's wide open. Touchdown. It is caught. And the Packers are tied the game. These fans fans are going crazy. I mean, this thing is supposed to be over with.
Send him back out to hold to win the game by 1, and his hands came off the ball, and boom, we win 24-23.
The Packers win it. How about that?
That was Brett. He drove you crazy. He made great plays. There was a little luck involved. And the fans got a real taste that day about what his career was going to be like.
Brett Favre is something else. This is the best thing that's happened in Green Bay in a long time.
Then the next week we played a really good Pittsburgh Steelers team. They were better than we were, but we won in Green Bay. And he played very, very well. And then we were kind of off and running.
Despite the smooth start, Favre was far from being a polished NFL quarterback.
You know, everyone said, man, you used to run a lot back early in your career. I said, I didn't know where in the hell to throw it. It wasn't that I was so confident that I could outrun everyone. It was I didn't know where guys were. Like our third game that year, I kept hearing our coaches talk about nickel. And nickel is in, and they're gonna sub. And well, I just played along. Okay, yeah, nickel's in.
I'll get him. All right.
Finally, one day I pulled Ty aside and said, Ty, what are they talking about when they say nickel?
What?
First real question he'd ever ask, you know, probably like a serious question. I'm like, oh, it's 5 DBs, you know, it's nickel, so it's 5. Oh, okay, I get it now, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Coming into the West Coast offense was a whole new language for him. We had to start from scratch. First impression, this is going to be a project. But then when you start seeing him throw the ball around, then you say, well, geez, if this guy can ever learn the system, then he might be somebody.
Blue, 58, 36.
Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away.
Second down, 11. Quick throw, pick it off, interception.
Well, make the switch. Put in the other quarterback. Come on. Wait a minute.
Holy smoke. I mean, he's all over the joint here.
I mean, Mike was tough on me, and he needed to be. The frustration I would have
Why didn't he?
trying to kind of harness just this wild stallion.
Hey, will you settle down, please? Now, are you all right?
Yeah.
No more rocket balls, please.
Well, I was chinged up.
No, I know.
My guess would be that he's had the strongest arm in the league ever. In practice, we had this young receiver caught a dig, boom, and his hands split right down between these two fingers. They had to stitch it up, put a cast on it, just for this guy to play. There were times where that arm strength would fit it in there, between linebackers. He believed that he could always get it in there. So that's why sometimes he would take some chances. He felt he could make every throw at any time.
Favre fakes the handoff, rolling right, pressured by McDaniel, shovels it forward, touchdown!
He was risky. I mean, he was fun to watch because you never knew what he would do.
I never did it because I just was bucking the system. It was only because I wanted to win.
Back to the left. He can run. No, he's still with the ball. And he is caught from behind, got away. Still, throws a touchdown. Holy cow. What a play by Brett Favre. He shoveled the ball forward as he was going down. Favre steps up in the pocket. He flips it into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. He flipped it into the end zone. Backhand.
Just the way they drew it up, huh, fellas? I'll tell you what, Brett Favre is the creative quarterback. He just creates plays.
In 1993, he took the Packers to the playoffs after an 11-year absence.
He's going to throw it to the end zone. He's open. Sharp. Wide open. Touchdown with 55 seconds left.
And what a pass by Brett Favre. They're mobbing him on the sidelines. He threw that high and wide, about 60 yards in the air.
In 1994, Favre broke the team record for touchdown passes in a season and led Green Bay back to the playoffs.
Favre is on the run. Favre is down the sidelines. Favre, touchdown! He dived into the end zone. Unbelievable. What a way to get this team into the playoffs.
There was nothing he wouldn't do to win. And while his casual disregard for his own health endeared him to fans and foe alike,
58.
Favre was playing a dangerous game.
Who hit me?
They better hit it harder than that. I didn't hit you, dog. That was you hit me. I thought you hit harder than that.
I never thought anything about playing with pain, overcoming injuries, because to me, it was not a big deal.
Chip went through right there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
He hurt his ankle. We were playing the Bears the next week, and he couldn't practice all week. And then on Sunday, he said, "I think I can go on this."
He landed up and played and threw 5 touchdown passes against the Bears.
Favre back in the pocket, seems to be running all right. Comes up over the middle, it's caught Brooks 10. Brooks at the 5, touchdown!
It's just a remarkable performance. That's Brett Favre. The game has got to be played, and he wants to play in the game.
So he played every week without fail.
I was always willing to give whatever it would take.
Let's do what we got to do now.
And it meant more to me to be a great teammate and to be relied on, and for the team and for the fans and for the coaches to say, we don't have to worry about Brett. He will be ready to play, and regardless of the score, he will play a certain way until it's over.
Favre had the Packers headed in the right direction, but he was headed for a crash.
At first, I used it for pain. After a while, I used it for recreation. And I knew that was wrong. Like with any person with addiction, you start off with one pill, it's just gonna take more and more and more. Before I knew it, it had me.
Your car got rear-ended and you needed a tow. Did your
Not that we're green thumbish. I'm like the world's best jalapeno pepper grower.
He was good at making pancakes and waffles. That's why.
I still am.
That's why he doesn't cook as much.
We're trying to do a low glycemic diet. Gluten-free oatmeal.
It's pretty cold.
Oh, God, don't tell me that.
Who's the idiot who thought up the triathlon?
It's never been sink or swim for Deanna and Brett Favre. Couples who've been together as long as they have learn to keep each other afloat.
Happy birthday, dear Deanna. Happy birthday to you.
Make a big wish.
Make a wish. Wish Brett Favre would leave me the hell alone.
It'll be rain. I'm just very lucky that she stayed around. She stuck with me through a lot of stuff and remains the same steadfast, powerful woman. And, those are hard to come by.
Everybody always says, behind every good man. But when we were 14 and we started dating, he would tell me on the phone when we weren't supposed to be in the middle of the night that he was going to play professional football.
But before he became a pro quarterback, he became a dad when daughter Brittany was born in 1989.
You wonder how we're going to do this and do it right. I have no money. My parents, her parents had no money. How do you change diapers? How do you, all that stuff. I give her a tremendous amount of credit because that wasn't a whole lot of help.
Say something to your dad, Brittany. Huh? Say something to your dad.
Merry Christmas, Brett.
With Brett away during football season, Deanna was the Favre family favorite.
She spent more time with my family than I did.
In fact, we used to tell Brett, if you and Deanna break up, we'll keep Deanna.
What is she doing, Deanna?
She messed up on camera.
While Deanna kept the home fires burning, Brett was lighting up the NFL, winning the first of his 3 MVP awards. But long-distance love can only go so far. So in 1995, Deanna and Brittany moved to Green Bay.
We decided this is going to be a make it or break it thing, and we'll see how it goes, and, you know, if it works out, I'll stay.
They were the very picture of an all-American family. But Deanna knew something was wrong.
He was staying up all night long, playing on the computer, watching TV. Then he would get up at 7 o'clock and go to work.
When you're taking as many painkillers as I was taking at one time, you know it's not right. But I was playing well, and so it's easy to say, what's this hurting?
The reason he finally faced that demon was because I was there.
It's kind of a difficult time because voluntarily I'm going to admit him to a in-treatment facility for however long it takes to get better. And my objective is to get better so I can continue to play at a level that I have and to get to a Super Bowl.
That year was so tough, and I thought, this probably is not gonna last. We're probably, you know, we're doomed.
More like destined. After 13 years together, they finally made it to the altar.
It was like the best day of my entire life because it had been this long journey and I'd witnessed most of it. And then when they finally got married, I hugged my dad and I said, "Where are we going on the honeymoon?"
Where else but Green Bay?
Green 18 set.
Favre reported to training camp, determined to win a Super Bowl.
When I came out, I was in tremendous shape, mentally and physically. I was a little bit cocky and arrogant, but I felt like I could back it up.
When he came back and continued to play, and not only play, but play even better, I think fans, they said, okay, this guy's, he's one of us, he's real. Let's help him, let's get behind him, even more than we were before.
MVP! 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 And he throws the ball to the corner. Caught, and it's a touchdown. What a throw and what a great catch made. Who can throw it better than Brett Favre?
The 96 Packers were the best Green Bay team in 30 years. They led the league in scoring and cruised to the NFC Championship game.
In some ways, that game almost meant more to me than the Super Bowl. It was football. It was cold, it was in Green Bay, and it was all Packer fans. To us, that was the Ice Bowl.
Brett Favre back to throw. He looks a lot of time going to the end zone. There's Dorsey, Levin. Touchdown, Dorsey. It's a touchdown. Brett straight back in the pocket. Quick drop. Goes to the outside. There's a fade. It's there. Touchdown, Antonio Freeman. And a perfect throw by Brett Favre. And the Packers are on their way to New Orleans for Super Bowl 31.
It seemed like that's the way it was supposed to be. We were supposed to go to New Orleans, and what better place for me to play my first Super Bowl.
Just an hour from his hometown, Favre was at the center of the football universe.
2nd down and 9. Brett Favre appears to be changing plays at the line of scrimmage.
I checked to 79 Razor. It's funny, I watched it on TV all day in the hotel room. Montana checking a 59 Razor. Same play.
It is going to be a touchdown to Andre Rison.
And so I took a chance. Thankfully, they played the coverage I'd hoped, and we hit it.
I think old Brett called the exact right audible for the situation there.
Brett has had a receiver open twice on changes of plays.
The guy who once didn't know what a nickel defense was could now bank on his ability to call the perfect audible.
Favre again checking out at the line of scrimmage, and Antonio Freeman on a perfect throw by Brett Favre.
Now Brett saw that daylight, took a great shot at it, and he got it. Put the Packers way ahead.
The Vince Lombardi Trophy is coming home where it started.
What you remember most is not so much that game, even though that's what you strive for, it's the journey. And all of a sudden that was over. And I didn't want it to be over.
Coming up.
He would come to my house in the middle of the winter in the snow with shorts on and flip-flops. And I remember him driving away from my house one time, and he rolled down the window because it was ice on his windshield. So he rolled down the window and he drove home with his head out the window. It's like, oh my God.
It's cold, it's cold, it's cold.
That's what people love about Brett Favre, his imperfections.
I want you in just 10 or 12 words to say the first thing that comes into your mind, but without mentioning their names.
Brett Favre.
Oh.
Who wouldn't love Brett Favre at his peak? The country boy who was just an average, normal guy.
You think God never farted?
Who struck career gold.
After winning the Super Bowl, Favre wasn't just a success, he was a full-blown phenomenon.
I gotta see this. This Favre out here, Brett Favre.
Green Bay is a unique place to start with, and their football team is very, very important to those folks, the whole state. And here was this guy that gave him everything he had.
People relate to him because he's not this prima donna. He's just, I'll do anything for the Packers.
The MVP, the big cheese of QBs, Brett Favre.
Here's the Favre. The Favre.
Favre.
In 1999, daughter Breely was born. The Favre family was growing, and so was Brett's fame.
I don't know that he realized how big it would be once he made it to the NFL and the celebrities.
Touchdown! Hi, Mary.
Brett?
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here? I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass.
Hey, Brett, what are the chances I could get you to give me a little autograph on this pump here, huh?
I mean, it's like we had our team security, and typically the head coach have their security. But Brett had, like, the head security guys weren't with the head coach. They were with Brett.
You sit in that position as a quarterback in the National Football League, you can be an untouchable, or you can be what he is, and he was human to everybody.
Marty, scratch right behind my shoulder pad. This side? Oh, right back here. Up, right there. Oh, yeah.
I used to babysit my kids. He would read my kids bedtime stories. And what quarterback in the National Football League babysits kids?
He's fun to hang out with, sometimes annoying.
He used to drop me off and blare the music and roll down the windows, and it's just the most embarrassing thing ever. One time he was dropping me off at school and he was blaring music like that, and he started throwing tennis balls out. And of course they're bouncing all over the place, and I'm trying to grab them and throw them back in his truck, and everybody's looking and laughing. It was humiliating, but he just thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
And we got a dandy brewing.
He's just one of those guys who makes you feel like you could be his best friend.
Keith Jackson. Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. She said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I got to stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
He treated everybody the same. The scout team guy, the janitor, the secretaries, the equipment guys. He'd make them laugh every day.
Hey, you got any left-handed footballs?
You know, I was never that way to win fans over. That's just the way I was.
I got some cheeseburgers at half, too. Where are they? In my locker, I'm going to grab them.
Listen, Brett will talk to anybody. He doesn't care, and he's going to mess with you.
Man, them are some tight pants you got on, Bubba. TJ's all waist, no legs. Look at him. Looks like an ostrich. Look at Snyder. He looks like the hunchback from Notre Dame with that quasi-white shoes moto. There's Mr. Miyagi up here on the theme on the board. Oh, yeah. Wax on, wax off. How you doing? You thought I was taller than this, huh? I thought you were taller than me. Hey, how about Mr. Miyagi coming up talking to me? My head's getting bigger. These hats are getting smaller. Shut up. I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit. I don't know why we come out so early and just stand around here and do this. What a waste. I'm sitting here just goofing off. Let's have a little fun today.
If you played with him, you're going to have fun playing the game.
Best 2 out of 3.
Teammates loved him. I mean, you couldn't help it. Even when he was putting like deep heating rub in your jock, I mean, you liked the guy.
Dang it, you call it.
Guys would be going to the bathroom, sitting on the throne, and he'd dump ice water on their head. That's what made him a great teammate and fun to be around.
You know what, Andy? I love you, man.
I think he enjoyed that kind of a country bumpkin image that he had.
I like you. You've been making some good calls tonight.
That didn't take things too seriously. Oh, he took it seriously.
He was, after all, Big Irv Favre's son. Never more so than on a Monday in Oakland in 2003, the night after his father died.
You know, Coach called and said, Miss Favre will do whatever you want. He can come home. I said, oh no, his dad would really have a fit if he didn't play in the game.
You know, and it didn't take long for me to say, you got to play in this game. All the times he told me to get my ass up, get your ass out there and play. Are you crazy?
He knows when to be business, and he knows when to play.
How Brett Favre is going to be able to handle this, I have no idea.
I was so nervous before the game. It was the most nervous I've ever been in a game. When they call out the offense tonight at Oakland, I got a standing ovation from the fans. That doesn't happen.
So under tremendous emotional duress, Brett Favre goes to work.
Under the perfect circumstances, I've never been able to do what I've done in that game.
Diving grab, caught in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay!
I was so full of emotion. I wished I could be on the sidelines, just telling him after every play what a great job he did, and your dad's watching.
America's most well-known number 4 has thrown for 4 touchdown passes in one half of play.
It was so emotional, but it was so special. I mean, it was like, you know, the entire game was specifically for his dad.
You watch the game, and it was like, this is like a movie. How is this happening? Is it luck? Is it his teammates making plays for him? No, you know what? It might be some of that, but you know what? It's Brett Favre.
If there was ever divine intervention, he was there that night.
Up next.
I would not be here before you today without my father.
How would you feel sitting in camp?
Well, I hope I'm living, and I hope I am sitting there.
After the game in Oakland, Deanna says to me, you know, your dad said to me that he could not wait for the day that you were inducted into the Hall of Fame so he could introduce you. So a new goal had entered my mind then and there. And I said to myself, I will make it to the Hall of Fame.
You start in this league for 200 straight games. They don't make it much tougher than this guy.
Brett Favre started more consecutive games than any player in NFL history. Job security wasn't an issue for football's Iron Man.
With each draft, I don't want to say my chest stuck out, you know, but it was like we're good at that position.
That changed in 2005, when the Packers drafted a quarterback in the first round.
When I got there, I don't think there was a situation where he was real excited about a young rookie coming in.
Favre was fine with the rookie, as long as he stayed on the sideline.
Put her in the old vice!
Actually, it was Favre who was starting to feel the squeeze. In 2005, he suffered through his only losing season. 2006 wasn't much better. Rumors began about his impending retirement.
Favre is being taken out of the game in what could very well be his final game in the National Football League.
Brett Favre is going to get carried off the field by Donald Driver.
As I got older, I loved to play, but I didn't really love everything else as much as I used to. As soon as the season was over, I just wanted to come down here and just hide.
Favre returned for 2007 recharged, racking up wins and records just about every week.
Brett Favre's got a lot of good football left in him. A monumental milestone in a legendary career.
I love you too.
We ain't done yet.
We had a phenomenal year from a regular season standpoint, but that championship game is really all that I remember.
Brett Favre comes onto the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field in what appears to be the last ball game of his illustrious career.
The 2007 NFC Championship game was not the crowning achievement of his career. It was a cold and crushing defeat.
And it's intercepted inside the 35-yard line of Green Bay.
That was classic Brett. You win with him, you lose with him.
This unexpectedly blessed season is over for the Packers.
And so it seemed was Favre's career.
I am officially retiring from the NFL and Green Bay Packers.
That would have been the best way to go out, would be you play for one team your whole career. You are the man. You put them on the map. You're awesome. You're loved. But that's not how it happened.
The following July, Favre had a change of heart and tried to rejoin his old team.
As far as I know, I'm a starter, and that's my focus, and that's what I'm going to stick to.
The picketing didn't persuade the Packers, who traded Brett to the New York Jets in August 2008. After a disappointing season, Favre joined the Vikings for the 2009 season.
After I didn't go back to the Packers, I wanted to play for anyone who would play the Packers. Minnesota played them twice.
If you're a Green Bay Packer fan, a true Green Bay Packer fan, seeing Brett Favre do this in purple has got to make you sick to your stomach.
What pained me was the fact that they were making Favre out to be the villain. He was just focused on playing football. He loves to play.
I don't even know how to describe it. I was so frightened of failing.
He picked us apart.
3 touchdowns tonight for Brett Favre against his former team.
How could you not want to show your former team you still could play?
He might be 40, but Favre is throwing bullets again.
Gunslingers aren't supposed to last till 40, let alone still be the top gun. Favre's 09 Vikings finished 12-4 and made it to the NFC Championship game. He came back for the 2010 season. And while his arm was still potent, the hits were taking a punishing toll. That and a dismal 6-10 season forced Favre to face the truth.
A lot of times guys leave and they think they left at the right time and they wonder, I wonder if I'd have, or boy, what I've done, you'll never know. When that year was over, I knew.
So, no regrets.
The most dynamic player of his generation ended his career in street clothes on the bench, but finally at peace. Coming up, Canton.
There was never one time where I did not give it all I could.
The final chapter was over when I played my last game. It's like I shifted gears and I never looked back.
But he did go back. In 2015, the Packers retired his number and inducted him into their Hall of Fame in front of 67,000 fans at Lambeau Field.
This is absolutely amazing.
That is a magical number, at number 4.
These days, Favre thinks a lot about numbers.
At 21, you thought 46 is kind of old. 50, that's over the hill. It's funny, you get to be 46 and you go, it's not that old. I'm not going to play football again, but that's okay. I can go out and jog, I can ride my bike. I do commercials. We have 2 grandsons who are in there probably tearing up the house right now. We enjoy following our youngest around as she plays volleyball.
You got to hit it with more force.
I'm out clipping grass, or I'm pruning trees, I'm spraying weeds. Anything to keep me just hidden and at peace.
We just like being here.
Think he's looking forward to traveling up to Canton?
No. Definitely Absolutely not. If he could just fly in and fly back out, that's how he would handle it. He's happy, but again, he wishes that it could happen at his house. I mean, if they could have the whole ceremony in the backyard, he'd be fine with it, honestly.
If I ever go to the Hall of Fame, it's going to be via satellite.
Not even homebody Brett Favre could turn down Canton. He looked at home, and as usual, made everybody else feel at home.
I'm Brett. Nice to meet you. Hello.
Hi.
Where'd you come in from? Tampa?
Montana.
I'm jealous.
The only problem I have in Montana is the coyotes, and they've been terrible.
I could take care of that for you.
Yeah.
Come on out. Get those coyotes.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, I know.
Get him out there.
Yeah.
And when it came time for his big moment, it was pure Favre, right down to home field advantage. And totally unscripted.
You can put it up. I mean, he's not going to follow it. Probably won't follow it, no.
I know, but that's I'll bring
Don't
it
tell
up.
Holmgren, but he put plays up. I never followed him. What I think about most has nothing to do with statistics. Although, who would have ever thought that a young man from Kill, Mississippi, whose father ran the Wishbone, would hold every passing record in NFL history at one time? But that's not what makes me most proud. What makes me most proud is how I played the game. I couldn't believe that they paid us. I was just having fun.
You know what time the game starts?
I just thought about playing football, and a lot of other things came along with it that I really didn't dream of. By no means do I want to come across as ungrateful, but I just wanted to just come home.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun, warm up the Georgia pie. It's so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good friends that live down the street. Got a good looking woman with her arms around me. Here in a small town where it feels like home. I got everything I need and nothing that I don't. I got everything I need.
I can't complain. I've been hit a lot of times. I don't know what normal feels like, but I feel good. You know, life is good.
Everything I need and nothing that I don't.